Hello Cancers, how you doing? Welcome to your energy reading going from the 25th of August through to the 31st of August. Hope you're doing well, trust you're doing well. Did you see the messages from energy? Which was all about getting in sync with the energy, getting in sync with life, with the simple things, and getting in sync in the sense of as much as making a cup of tea as building a house, or starting a business. It's getting to sync with everything on a regular basis, getting our consciousness into line with our lives, or the world as well that is around us and the vibrations that's coming through. The reason for this is because there was also another message about a conscious shift tied to a geological event in the next sort of like 20 days. I will be doing a deeper dive into that question on Saturday, be coming out there, and I'll also be talking about it on the live on Sunday. If you want to be part of the live, that's at 9 o'clock UK time. Questions and answers, be lovely to see you there. Yes, so the chakra sequencing as well, wow, that was off the wall. There was a lot of associating chakras that don't normally go together, and I'm putting this down to pole shift. And this is the stirring up of this conscious shift that's coming up within life. And if you're in line and in sync with your energy and in your life, it's going to be much easier for you to step through and go with the flow and have this conscious shift be very beneficial to you rather than being caught in riptides, as it were. So the elements that came out of the reading this week was to do with earth and water. Now, you are a water sign, but actually you have more earth in you than you do water. So that's what's naturally feeding you. So generally, you will feel that life is going in your favor. Now it's going in your favor. Now that we found love, what are we gonna do with it? It's that sort of sensation there. Sorry about that, I just needed to sing. It's like that. It's like you're falling in love with life again, and it's like, okay, so I'm feeling good about this. Now what we're going to do with it? And this is where we come into the elements, which we're talking about, fire and air, which you can control what's happening, what you allow into your life, because you have the control over the water and the earth. And that's the general energy that's running through there. So you have a control over what's going on around you. It's now a question of, it's putting in the spices and the little herbs and spices which makes the taste of the meal. You've got all your basic ingredients, but it's how much salt and pepper and how much sort of cumin or sort of paprika or whatever, spices you put into it. And that spice is all going to be to do with your fire, your passions, and how you place your passions in life. And I think it's going to be passionate much more on the material side than on the relationship side. But on the relationship side, this is where the inspirational air comes in. And there seems to be a connection with someone on the outside, in the world, on the outside world, that is driving an idea that you kind of go, wow, what if? What if? And that is now playing into, that what if plays as well into, what if it starts working for me financially in my here and now? How does it affect me? How does it then allow an opportunity for me to explore my personal side of life in a greater deal? So I think these two aspects that's coming in from you engaging with life, but also an inspirational connection to someone on the emotional side of life, which inspires that connection as well. And the driving force behind that is going to be your passions. Okay? If you've got a question that you want answered, that you want me to channel, just put it in the comments section and I will channel it in next week's reading. Okay? So I will choose 2 or 3 questions just see what energy says about it. Okay, let's get on to your energy reading, also your chakra sequencing, and your I'm pulling a few cards for you. So let's just start with the connection to the energy. Here we go. I think you are emotionally engaged in life. There's a lot of blue that's going on, and emotionally in a very beautiful way, in a joyous way, in a very calm way. King of Cups sort of scenario, really, more than anything else. I think it's like life does seem to be rolling for you, so it allows you to emotionally take the time to enjoy the moment. That's both on your financial side as much as on your relationship side, but it is building for the future. It's in the engagement of the enjoyment, which actually then opens the doors to possibilities for you for the coming future, to see how it sort of like plays out and pans out for you in a good way. Yeah, really good emotional energy that is in sync with you. And that's where you find your synchronicities with the energies. Okay, let's just see if we can get a vision for that general energy there. Okay, so I get like this clam that's opening up, and as it's a bit like the Venus de Milo, the lady surfing in a what is called a coquille de Saint-Jacques scallops, I think they're called in English. I can't quite remember, but it's got like this fan out the front and then little fan out the back. But as it opens up, there's this pearl, and I think it's like you're opening up to the pearl of life, this beautiful pearl of understanding and wisdom and sensation of being at one, rather having to fight your way and and push things. It's all nicely smooth and clean and shiny future for you. It's a real beautiful, joyous engagement in life this week here. Let's just see what's going on the financial side of life. Okay, straight away I get like building. You may well be building a house or buying a house or building a project or building a business or even building your career path. Whatever it is that you're really putting the foundations in now. This is the point of no return in a way. Once you build the foundations, it's almost going to define in a way what you can put on it. You can put pretty much what you like on the foundations of life. But at the same time, you've got to have that foundation in order to start. And it seems like this is it. There's no turning back. You financially, you're going for a job, or you're pushing that business. This business is now a real thing, as it were. And you can start seeing the physical aspect of it all. Or if you've got a business, it's developing it in a new way and relying upon that existing business to push things in a new direction, having that foundation. But here is a point of no return, either going for that job, applying for that job, doing that course, that online course, or doing some, going back to education to get a qualification so you can go down that path. It's the foundation measures of everything that you want to do. But whatever it is, there's movement, there's commitment, there's wanting, and I think this gives you a sense of purpose and sense of fulfillment and sense of, yes, it's happening, it's moving. It's really happening, sort of thing. And it's a point of no return within your business side of things. So whatever you've got in mind, I would definitely instigate it now for you. Okay, so let's see what's going on the personal side of life. This is relationships and that sort of thing. Let's just see what's going on here. I almost feel like you're getting your dream connections. It's like something that it's a double-edged sword here. So sometimes our aspirations or our expectations can outweigh the realities of what we're going for, and what we think we're looking for turns out not to be what it was. And there is an aspect to that, but at the same time, you know, there is a dreamy connection that is waiting to happen, and I almost feel like you're now getting the inspiration of or the type of person that you wish to be involved in, or knowing the person that you want to be involved with and realizing it's that person. Or if you're already in a relationship, it's just realizing why you're in that relationship. Why is it good for you? Why is it, inspirational? What is all the good stuff? And that's where you can concentrate on the good stuff. And therefore you're only going to get good stuff in return. And it seems pretty straightforward in how you're engaging on the relationship side, but there is an inspirational connection to something on the outside. What is that all about? It's someone who's giving you a direction. So it could be someone turning around to you and sort of saying, well, why don't you move in with me? It's that sort of thing. It seems like there's someone holding like a what do you call it? A compass, and they're giving you a direction. You don't have to take it, but I think it's going to tie into the inspirational laying foundations of what you're doing in your material side of life. And I think it goes hand in hand in a way, very, very in line with one another. And I think this is what opens the door to what could be the ultimate, Prince Charming, or the perfect princess for you. In a way, it's a bit of a sort of like ideal sort of it's an idealistic outcome, or an idealistic sort of point of reference of what you want to be achieving within your relationship side. And in order to do that, I think you need to be open to being the exchange with someone else, and this is where that they can give you a direction, because they are, they're taking a direction. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, okay, they're going to decide everything. That's not what it means. It means like they're giving a direction. You kind of go, yeah, well, let's go round it at it like that. Let's head in that direction there, but let's go via this. So there is this perfect exchange as well with the other person. Okay, let's just see what's going on the spiritual side of life. Okay, it's noticing the little idiosyncrasies that are around you, which basically, if you're looking to answer the great questions about your spiritual path, about who you are and so forth, it's not like you're going to get one answer. It's like you're going to get lots of different answers that make up the answer. So my hand is not made up of a thumb, it's made up of four fingers and a thumb, and a palm. It's all in one that gives that's what a hand is sort of scenario. And I think this is on the spiritual path here. I think you need to be very sensitive to the messages, the little messages that are around you within the spiritual world, which is going to contribute to the greater answer. So I say to people, you should never ask why, because the problem is the answer is so big that you'll probably not be able to understand it. You're better off asking lots of little questions, and as you get the answers of all the little questions, that explains the why, So it seems very much in that sort of like ilk, as it were. Let's just see what's going on for your chakra sequencing. See what's going on there. Now, as I said, there was the chakra sequencing on the general energies. The messages from energies were off the wall. So let's just see what's going on for you. Connection to that central point now. There we go. We got the crown and the root. a lot more solid than most other signs, to be honest. I think the pathway of what you want to be living is defined, but also you're concentrating on it. You're not necessarily creating it because it's already defined, but because it's defined doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have to adapt to it as you walk along the pathway. And that's where I think you've got a certain degree where you're consciously going in a direction, or you're consciously heading in a direction. And this is where your vertical energy between your crown and your root can help you to stay on that pathway. Okay? But it's not imposing, it's just there. It's like an accompaniment rather than anything else. Let's just see what's going on in, where is it moving on to? So it moves on to the third eye and the throat chakra. I think the third eye is incredibly clear here. I think you should be really, trusting your intuition, your inner vision, seeing how things are, seeing how things can develop and so forth. The throat chakra is not so important here more than anything else. So I think it's not a case of talking a lot, it's a case of doing. And sticking to that vision as well, and it's using that intuition or that vision of seeing things that are happening in the world, which will give you those little answers to the bigger question, as it were. And using your intuition, your third eye, will be really important. Where's it moving on to now? That heart has always been in the background, and it does want to come forth. And this is where I think the passions as well are driving you. And it's your heart's passions, your heart's desire. It's a skip and a jump as you wander down the pathway of life. And it's making you very passionate about living something, kind of realizing, I don't want to do that because I want to do this. I'm so much enjoying doing this. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be no work to it, but there is going to be work. But I think you're going to enjoy it, and it's going to be very inspirational to you emotionally in life, and make you feel like that. Yeah, this is exactly what I should be doing. So when your heart does sing, I would listen to it. Okay, where's it moving on to now? Okay, so it does move on to the solar plexus. That heart is always present. I really think it's going to be an enjoyable week for you this week here. But it's moved on to the solar plexus. And that solar plexus is not overpowering. You don't have to force your way through this week here. You just have to have that strength to remain or to stay on the pathway which is good for you. To really follow the pathway which is good for you. And having the conviction of your emotions, I think, is going to be important as well. Convictions of what you so wish to be doing. This could then, be influenced by this inspiration that comes in through on your relationship side, and is engaged in the inspiration of the here and now, and adapting to your physical side of life, your material side of life, and how that's changing. But having the conviction comes from that solar plexus. And then it goes back to the crown and the root. It goes back to, the pathway. So you're constantly creating this pathway as you go forward. Really lovely energies for you there, Cancer. Let's just pull a few cards for you. Don't forget, if you do want to ask questions, you're more than welcome to, and I will be channeling the answers next week's reading. Just leave it in the comment section. So we're going to put a card on your financial side, and then we'll put a card on your personal side of life, and then we'll put a card on your overall energies and see what's going on. So on your financial side, look at that. You've got the star card. Reaching for the stars. I think life is going to be emotionally going incredibly well, where you feel that the impossible is becoming possible. And I do believe it is coming possible, certainly with the foundation stuff that you're doing on your financial side. I would seriously reach for the stars, realizing that you can go to something that's far greater. Let's just see what's going on to your relationship side of life. Two of Pentacles, someone is revealing to you a solution to a physical situation within your relationship side here. So you're actually seeing what works. You're seeing this inspirational person, this connection with another person that comes in, shows you what works in your emotional side of life, what makes you tick, and how can you combine that with the life that is around you. In your general energies, you are off on a mission, and you want to go off on this mission. There is no doubt about it. With the Knight of Wands, and being spontaneous as well, in a way, within its own restrictions. It's not like just sort of like throwing everything up in the air and kind of going, right, I'm off. You know, it's more of a case of kind of going, you know, this is what I want out of life, and okay, this is driving your passions, that driving your fire. This is what I was saying earlier on. Your fire is going to be the driving aspect of it all, and it comes from within you. You have to go off on this mission and explore it. Life is about living, and it's waiting, just waiting for you to live it, basically, Cancer. So there you go. Thanking you very much for being here. Thanking you very much for having the confidence to in the channel to subscribe, like and share. Don't forget to click the bell at the same time. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, there's also the messages from energy, all the other energy videos that we do, and also the live on Sunday. It'd be lovely to see you there. In the meantime, all that's left for me to say is, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.